This is episode 1 of reviewing your very own perfume collections. Can I just start off by saying that I was super surprised, A, by the number of responses that I received, and B, by how large your perfume collections are. Some of you guys have way bigger collections than I do, hundreds and hundreds of perfumes. Clearly, you're down the perfume rabbit hole. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm also obsessed with fragrances, and it was just really cool to see how passionate you all are. Right, we're gonna begin with Milbe's perfume collection. It is all designer fragrances, and there is a clear preference for certain brands. We're seeing a lot of Armani here, especially from the Di Gioia collection, so the fresher, cleaner perfumes from Armani. There's also quite a bit of Guerlain. We have some Aqua Allegoria, some La Petite Robe Noire, but I think it's the Eau Fraiche. Some Narciso, which I love seeing, and quite a bit of the L'Interdit range. You have the Eau de Parfum, the Intense, and also L'Interdit Rouge. So right off the bat, what I get from this collection is that you're into fresher, brighter fragrances. So overall, those clean, fresh florals with some musks as well. And in terms of what I can recommend to you, I would first of all recommend a niche fragrance because you don't have a niche perfume yet, and it might be time to start venturing into niche. And given that you enjoy those floral, musky scents, I have 2 perfumes. I can't decide which to recommend, so I'm going to give you both. The first one is Delina La Rosee from Parfums de Marly, one of my favorite fragrances because it is on the fresher side. It combines a dewy, peony, dewy rose with a clean crystalline musk. So you get a transparency, a watery feeling, it's fresh, and it also lasts all day long, which is amazing, and the projection is fantastic as well. And the second fragrance I would go for is Levant from Ormonde Jayne. Here you have peony as well and musks, but it is a fragrance that is more pillowy, soft, and ultra feminine, whereas Delina La Rosee is more like of a pick-me-up, like a morning pick-me-up, that like crisp freshness. With Levant, it is something that is softer, more floral, and feminine. The other thing that I'm noticing is that you do not really have a bold scent for the evening or that covers autumn and winter at the same time. There are some vanillas here. I can see you have some Poison from Dior, Mont Blanc Signature, so those creamy vanilla fragrances. There are some sexy white florals as well with the L'Interdit line, L'Interdit Rouge, the Eau de Parfum Intense. Some Libre, I believe it's the Intense and Le Parfum. But given all of this information, I would recommend a vanilla scent that you can wear more so in the autumn and winter time, as well as the evenings all year round. So I would go for Burberry Goddess, the Eau de Parfum from Burberry. This fragrance launched last year, so it's still at the end of last year, so it's still relatively new. And the reason I would go for this one is because it's a more intense vanilla to the ones that you already have. It's not on the creamy side, but it's on the fresher side, and it kind of goes with that fresh feeling that you get from your perfume collection. It has the addition of lavender, which is going to give that freshness, so it's not going to be a too overly sticky sweet type of scent. And as I said, it's adapted for the autumn and winter season, but also you can wear it in the evenings on date night, or if you're going out with friends, if you want something that is put together, sophisticated, and really addictive as well. Next, we have Tatian Kabrevslavakia's collection. Apologies if I'm not saying this right. I'll put all the usernames on the screen. So first and foremost, we can see here that this lady is a niche perfume lover and is quite loyal to certain brands. We have a lot of Jo Malone, some Diptyque, some Juliette Has a Gun. So again, here we're seeing that the fragrances that she enjoys are more towards the fresh and light end, Cologne-like, if you will. If you've tested some of Jo Malone fragrances, you would see what I mean by that. They're quite transparent and airy and fresh. So nothing that is too cloying. There's clearly a preference for citruses, tea-like fragrances, some aromatics and green notes. In my opinion, to complement your collection and not to go too crazy and go into a completely different direction, I would recommend de Yulong from Armani. The reason being is that it is a beautiful, fresh green tea with a bit of smokiness type of scent. It smells like a luxury spa. There's something really calming and relaxing. There's a blend of black tea and green tea, so you get a bit of smokiness, you get that greenness from the green tea, all whilst a transparent cloud of musks just wraps up the whole composition. A little bit more bold of an option. Given that you like aromatics and green notes, I'd recommend you try Torino 21 from Xerjoff. Now this one is all about aromatics. You have basil, there's rosemary, there's lots of different herbs. It's not going to make you smell like a spice cupboard, not at all, but it has that fresh, crisp vegetal greenness, which I think you would really enjoy. And again, there's a lot of clean musks, some soft florals, so it has a bit of a squeaky clean, soapy feeling, but with aromatics in there too. The one thing that I would mention from your collection is because you have a lot of fresher, brighter, more daytime scents, I feel like there is an evening scent in here that is missing. So I would opt for something that is a little bit darker, but not going too crazy at the same time, because I want to make sure you're still enjoying the fragrance and that it's in line with your perfume collection. I would recommend you go for Ocean Leather from Memo. You have the aromatics, there is sage in here, there's also some basil, and so that freshness you'll have, but then there is a base of woods, which is going to give more structure to this scent and more dimension and depth, which makes it perfect to transition into the evening. Next, we have Justina with the username at Justina Kameka. I actually met Justina in person several times. She's also based in London and she has her own dental clinic, which is amazing. I actually now look forward to go to the dentist and get my teeth cleaned because she's incredible. It doesn't hurt, and if you're based in London, you should definitely visit her. Anyways, this is Justina's perfume collection. Right off the bat, I can say that it is a very feminine and chic perfume collection. We have lots of Chloe, and Chloe fragrances are so feminine and so elegant. I think they're one of the best designer scents in my opinion. There is also quite a bit of Jo Malone, some Miss Dior. We have some Levant and Pick Me Up, which I can see are from my recommendations. Oh, as well as J'adore l'or. And a few niche, Juliet Has a Gun, Byredo, Quercus from Penhaligon's. So what I can tell from this collection is that there are quite a few ethereal, refined scents, and they center all around fresh florals, especially fresh roses. We have the Chloé Eau de Parfum, Eau de Toilette, Rose Naturelle. There's also Parisienne from Yves Saint Laurent, which is an amazing fruity rose scent that is so underrated and no one really talks about. It's a great perfume. There's some Miss Dior, of course. And there are some freshies like 724 from MFK, Quercus, Acqua di Parma. So I would say all in all, this is a solid collection of all year-round good signature scents. So you can make the most out of a collection like this because they're types of fragrances that you can wear 365 days a year and get a lot of use out of it. The only thing I would say with this collection is I would say it's a little safe, and you can go maybe a little bit bold with some future choices. There's nothing wrong about being safe. I love fragrances that are just easy grab and go, but you know, sometimes I want to recommend something that is a little bit outside of your comfort zone just for you to try something new. So what comes to mind is a bolder choice of perfumes, and given that you really enjoy rose fragrances, I would recommend you try Atomic Rose from Initio. Now, Atomic Rose is Delina's sexier older sister, in my opinion. It is a rose that is spicy, ambery, a bit sweet, and has a fizzy, spicy pop. It's like a thorny rose. Very sexy, and it's great for evening wear. And the reason why I would recommend it is that you could also technically use it as a signature scent to wear all year round, but it is great for those date night, evening occasions. And the bonus is that this fragrance is super long lasting, though on the pricier side. Because it's strong, you don't need that many sprays, so again, you'll get the most use out of it. Another thing that I'm seeing is that you don't have seasonal autumn winter scents. There's just two from what I see. You have Gris Charnel from BDK and Bal d'Afrique from Byredo. but I would add warmer, richer fragrances to your collection. And with that in mind, and the fact that you enjoy more refined, sophisticated scents, and I can see you have a sandalwood as well, I would recommend you try Santal Basmati from Affinessence. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sandalwood scent. It has a gourmand twist, a bit of a cooked rice pudding note, which is so delicious, so addictive, but without being overly sweet. And the sandalwood is really soft, velvety, almost feels like fairy dust. There's a transparency and airiness with this fragrance. It's really beautiful. I think you would really enjoy it. And it's another one that lasts forever. Literally 12 hours plus with a beautiful sillage, and so you'll be able to smell it throughout the day as well. Next, we have BB Score, and here is clearly a niche fragrance lover. And what's interesting is that there's a variety of niche brands from more approachable niche like BDK and Matières Premières, as well as Diptyque to an extent. And then those are more niche-like, such as Frédéric Malle and Amouage. Like those brands, they have certain fragrances that are really complex, and you have to be deep down the niche rabbit hole, I would say, to really appreciate those olfactive compositions. So I find that super interesting, and that just gives me the idea that you're quite open-minded about, venturing into new olfactive territories, discovering new brands, and maybe go a little bit more daring in terms of your fragrance choices. I'm also seeing that you do have a very clear love for iris fragrances. We have some Dior Parfum, which is very interesting because this collection is a ladies' collection, and actually a few of you ladies who sent photos of your fragrance collection also wear men's fragrances, and I think that's really, really cool. So we have Dior Parfum, Belle Âme Les Abstraits, Iris Malican, there's an Hermescence, I believe this is an iris as well, Fleur de Peau from Diptyque. So a variety of iris fragrances, and it's not just one type of iris. You have more powdery irises, more earthy, gourmand, perhaps even sweet irises, some freshies, but mainly spices, woody, rich type of scents. So you like your fragrances to be powerful, to be impactful, and really strong. So based on all of this information, I would go for maybe a safe recommendation. Given that you love iris so much, I'm going to recommend another iris scent for you. It is Iris Fauve from Atelier des Ors, and that would complement quite well the selection that you have already, and given your tastes. So Iris Fauve is an ambery, resinous iris scent, and it has this really warm, balmy base about it, which is so interesting with that beautiful powdered iris note. So it complements well that collection that you have, and given that you like richer scents, I think you would enjoy it. The other recommendation that I would go for is, given that you have a lot of warmer, sweeter, spicy and woody scents, I would go for something that is fresh and a strong, powerful, fresh fragrance, such as Vibrato from Sospiro. This is the Beast Mode Freshie. It is a fragrance that will project insanely well, and the longevity is just unmatched. This is a 12-hour plus citrus fragrance. Given that you like spices, there is the addition of ginger, so you could enjoy it. And the ginger is quite strong in Vibrato as well. It gives that zingy, fiery effect with a vibrant citrus backbone. It is delicious, it's juicy, it's fresh, and it's especially great for the summertime in the high heat. It will cool you down instantly. All right, at Beaupaumland, I don't know if I'm saying this right. So what do we have here? We have a beautiful collection. Lots of my fragrance recommendations in here. We have Lune Féline, Tardes. My goodness, Tardes is, I think, it was part of the first YouTube video ever, one of my first recommendations. So you must be going way back. I love it. Rima 11, Le Papier, Hibiscus Palm, another favorite. Gris Charnel, Scherzo. So yes, this is big brownie points for you when it comes to your collection. We also have a lot of Initio. And I do have the breakdown of the fragrances, but all in all, this indicates to me that you love strong, rich, intoxicating scents, because Initio fragrances are just that. They're super strong and intoxicating. And what's interesting is that your collection, it's really contrasted. On one hand, you have rich, warm, spicy scents. You have your tobaccos with Jazz Club, Herod Tobacco Vanille, some spicy, woody vanilla scents like Gris Charnel, Lune Féline, Eau Duel, By the Fireplace, so that type of scent profile. And then on the other hand, you have light skin-like scents, such as the Diptyque Trio, which I like to say is Orphéon, Fleur de Peau, and L'Eau Papier. A must if you like powdery, clean fragrances, and you have all three. Another 13 from Le Labo and Wood Sage and Sea Salt. So all these fragrances are like your clean skin, but better to varying degrees. And then on the other hand, you have like really powerful, rich, intoxicating fragrances, and there's no really in between. So I find that to be quite interesting. I would say that you have covered all your bases when it comes to evening and autumn and winter scents. There's a lot of like rich, intoxicating, sexy perfumes in there. And you have some lighter daytime scents, but what's missing, in my opinion, is a grab-and-go freshie. It's a type of scent that you can wear right out of the shower, or you could wear to the office, or it's like a dumb reach that you could just spray on and smell really clean and fresh and good. So for that, I would recommend Infusao Botanica from Granado Pharmacias. The reason being is that I can see that you enjoy, on the one hand, spices, and specifically cardamom. You have your Lune Féline, you have your Gris Charnel, there's cardamom in those fragrances. And you also like your clean, musky scents, and that fragrance bridges the gap between the two. So Infusao Botanica has coriander, there's cardamom, and there is a fresh, musky, woody base that is just beautiful. It smells clean, a bit soapy, if I might say, with those invigorating spices in the top. And there's an elegance as well to this perfume. It's stunning. Highly, highly recommend it. So that would be my first recommendation. And the second is, I feel like summer-specific scents we are missing in this collection. Other than Hibiscus Palm, which I can see that you've used a lot of, we need a little bit more options for summer. So with that in mind, given your love for Hibiscus Palm, aka an exotic beach-like floral, I would recommend you try Ylang Cananga from Chloe. That perfume is an exotic floral perfection. It is ylang based, so you're gonna get that heady, exotic floral touch, but without being sickening. It's quite fresh, and there's a creaminess about it, like a creamy coconut feeling. It's as if you were sipping a coconut water on a tropical beach, feet in the sand, overlooking just beautiful blue sea. That to me is what Ylang Cananga is about, and it's really lovely for the summertime. It has that sophisticated edge. It is spectacular. Now, if you want your perfume collections to be featured in the next video and reviewed, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter and send me an email. I will pop all the information in the description box down below. When you send me a photo of your perfume collection, please send me a picture where I can clearly see the labels of your fragrances, or you could send me a list of the different fragrances that you have in your collection if it's huge. That would be very helpful. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed reviewing and seeing your collections, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!